All right, day fucking three. Um, I'm probably gonna call this series "Retard Explains," but here's the quick little rundown on what I'm gonna be doing for the structure because I said what the structure was gonna be, but let me actually show you what it's gonna look like. Um, that's specifically for video three, but in here I'm just gonna have like a list of every single video, and then I'll have. So basically, I'll just have the title, the thumbnail, all of the topics on what I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna make it in a very simple way, to where it's like the shit I did in the past, the shit I'm gonna basically on what I did learn now from the new learnings and stuff, and then basically the next tasks on what I'm gonna complete thereafter. If it's other stuff directly for the business or to actually learn, and then those topics, it's just gonna go. I'm gonna start off with actions completed, progress checks for really anything, YouTube analytics, money I made, booked appointments, and then sort of outreach goals, and then things of what happened. And then after that, we'll have sort of the new learnings and the things that I want to focus on, the main key takeaways that I know apply to me directly, aha moments or things that I really liked or see the importance in. Then after that, it'll just be next tasks, super fucking simple, what things I'm gonna move forward on. So here's the freaking YouTube shit. Um, so one sort of thing on what I was getting a little bit caught up on is I need to have a YouTube channel for my client stuff, to where then I can use that as a method of outreach for like, warm organic marketing stuff. And then I need to have that completely separate from this, because if I have the fucking retard retard explain series and I'm trying to be a fucking professional and gain credibility within my niche and have authority, probably this series is not going to be good for them, and it wouldn't be that well that they see this. It's because it's completely unprofessional, bro. I don't give a fuck about being professional in any sense. And I'm kind of doing this because I kind of want to become like a little micro influencer within the actual school community that I'm in, because my ultimate goal is to become the number one in this community, then number one in my space. Right, that's where I'm at. I've been posting, being absolutely autistic with this shit, but regardless, I just now separated two accounts, stuff for clients, because that I'm going it based off of the audience, right? Audience here is gonna be clients. Audience here is gonna be honestly whoever the fuck wants to watch. So that's what I did for that. Other action taken, I basically, you probably can't see all of it, but I changed my sort of desktop background to like a few very important things. It was like I have the four areas of focus on what Charlie sort of was talking about in his training, and then it was basically there are four things that you need to focus on completely and utterly. So solid foundations and mindset, right? Everything on how you think. That's the basis for you doing fucking anything. Then booking sales appointments, closing sales appointments, and then delivering value, getting great results. The only areas that I need to be focusing on, period, no matter what, non-negotiable. Then there's the sort of remember diagram. I'll probably put it up on screen, or fuck it, I'll pull it up right now. So here's the diagram that I believe to be super important and that had the most impact on me, right? To give a quick explainer of this, is blue represents the sort of downfall of your memory, because with the human brain, we are literally wired to just cut out the fat, cut out the shit that we're not using, because it takes energy to keep it in there. So if you have memories of like, I don't know how much a fucking African frog weighs, or how much or how long it takes for a zebra's pregnancy, or for it to get pregnant or some shit, whatever the fuck, or the lifespan of fucking dolphins, I don't know, some random information. If you don't continually use it, your brain is gonna cut it out, right? So that is represented over here on the blue side with the graph. Then over here is more of the this sort of representation of delayed gratification and then delayed results. So then if you're trying to work out, right, in day one you're probably not going to see anything, day two you're not really going to see anything, week three you'll probably see a little bit of progress, week four it'll be like week six, week seven, week eight, then you start getting into week 12, 13, 14, 15, and then you actually reach a point of critical mass to where it's like, oh shit, all of that stuff of me, you know, not choosing not to stuff my fucking face, choosing to put down the fork, me choosing to get up off my ass when I didn't want to, me walking into the gym looking like a fat, disgusting like slob and then being embarrassed, right? Putting all of that to the side to actually lose weight, you know? And then what this represents is sort of a pitfall that can happen, right? When you're working out, you're putting the fork down. You are not getting the fucking Diet Coke Zero. You're not picking up the Coke. You're not picking up the fucking milkshake. During that time, you're going to sort of forget on what was the actual catalyst or the things that you have been doing that then should be attached to how you lost weight, right? Because if you sort of forget what food you were eating, sort of how you were thinking, and then the actions you were taking up until you actually get your proper result, you're going to attribute it to the wrong thing, right? Because then if you work out for let's say 3 months, you lose 150 pounds, but then you think the reason is because you had sugar water, and then that's the reason why. But the real reason was because you went to the gym, you stopped. All you were in is you just went to the gym, drank water, and then were in a calorie deficit. That was the real reason. But you end up forgetting because humans forget. We're all fucking stupid. So like whatever. So then the next thing is this sort of 80-20 rule, right? To where it's like 80% of the wealth is owned by 20% of people, 80% of customers come from 20% of the businesses, so on and so forth. A bunch of examples on how literally 80%, the like 80-20 rule, that 80% of something is really only getting taken or being attributed or is being held by 20%, right? And understanding that brings you closer to reality, because there's obviously this huge sentiment of like, oh, dude, these billionaires are such bad people. They have all the whatever. Oh, billionaires should pay more taxes, and oh, whatever. The reason why I'm poor is because billionaires. It's like, it's really, really fucking stupid, you know? And how the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, whatever the fuck. It doesn't really matter. Like, that's just how it is. It's more just accepting that that exists, right? And using it to your best advantage. Because you can complain about the 80-20 of fucking a bunch of other shit and how things aren't fair or whatever. That none of that matters. What matters is that you see on what this stuff is, right? You understand the law, you understand where it's applied, and then how it works. Then you use that to your advantage. Because instead of complaining about being in the 80%, right? Being in the 80% of wealth and not having shit, just go to the fucking 20%. Figure out how you can get to the 20%, which is absolutely insane. Then another big one was the order of consequences. Dude, this was fucking crazy to me, right? Because I've already thought about this before, but he basically crystallized it into something very easily digestible, right? This sort of breaks down how one thing can cascade into a bunch of different shit, right? To where, let's say your mom gets you an Xbox for Christmas, right? This is how everything leads and how it all ties into each other. Because this one thing that you probably don't think is that bad can just absolutely throw you down a fucking loop and then create a sort of that sort of snowball example, right? The snowball rolls down a hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? This is going bigger and bigger and bigger into like a fucking like an abyss, basically, right? That's where this is going to lead, and that's where it's going to end. Because the trajectory of this is bad, right? You get the Xbox, you start playing for hours and hours on day, you start playing every single day, more and more hours of play, you get good at the game, starts frying your dopamine receptors, rewires your brain for instant gratification, so now you're just absolutely brain rot, and then now you struggle to do work, not enough dopamine, and then you just sort of, everything just feeds into itself, right? And everything just sort of crystallizes and then almost it fractalizes into like a bunch of different other shit, and then it's just a bunch of feedback loops all feeding and aiding into each other. And then that's more of in a negative light. It also shows it in the positive light, but this is probably the one thing that he crystallized that I was already thinking of that is probably absolutely detrimental and 100% the biggest thing that is like that I think is very, 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 very yeah, that I think is almost detrimental. If you don't understand that, you're like fucked. If you like do not get what the fuck that is or what it means or how to apply it or anything, you're cooked. Absolutely. And then I kind of already, I think I already said this, but I've already validated my current niche, and I'm just gonna go 10 toes down, because also in the in the thing I would have on my desktop, probably can't see it, but there's a promise to self, right? This is one of the actionables. Literally, I had to write down, I promised to myself that, and Charlie, that I will stick with this program in the Imperium Academy training. I will stick to the agency business model. I will stick to the niche I picked, and I will stick. And I understand that I have countless temptations to switch to a different business, niche, or problem, and I will doubt all of these along the way, but I won't listen to this bullshit, and I will and I will be a person with extremely high stickability. Stickability is basically me just, you know, not changing, right? Me sticking to my word, me not just switching and then doing a bunch of other shit and then just fucking being like, oh, I should probably go to, you know, niche 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then just start doing a bunch of this shit, right? And then for really today, bleeding into tomorrow, I'm going to complete modules 1.5, 1.6, going to finish those today. And then after that, I'm going to go through, I do have like a VSL, right, in my sort of sales process. I'm in the middle of editing it, but I sort of rushed it and it was kind of dog shit. So I'm gonna redo the script because it's like 10 minutes and I want it to be shorter. The editing is pretty well, but I had to sort of over edit to overcompensate, which I want to just sort of have the edit to, you know, time, FaceTime ratio to be not super skewed to where like I'm just over editing the fuck out of this, making it into a Mr. Beast video when that's like really retarded. And I need to re-edit it, re-record it, and then actually change a little bit of the copy on the landing page. And then after that, I need to verify my list on what I basically had running in the background, and then I need to put it into my power dialer, minimum have 250 ready for Monday, so that then I can just hit my outreach goals of 250 a day for the next 6 weeks, basically. and I know it's coming to like, you know, Halloween, and then this is really big for the holidays, so that I know that if I can get at least a few clients during this time period, I can leverage the holidays. That's probably like one of the best positionings that I could use. And then also my sort of barrier to entry is super low. So that's really it. Gonna get to it. Gonna keep with these daily things. And I mean, if you're in the school community and you kind of just want to hit me up, do more accountability stuff, you know, we can just link and then do this shit together. I'm kind of cool with it. I try to get one of my other guys on this, one dude who I know, but dude's still gay. I fucking texted him again. He's not saying shit. So once he says something, I'll probably let y'all know. But if y'all are in the community, you want to say what's up, you want to, you know, kind of just go through this together, shoot off ideas from each other, I'm more than down. Just find me in there. Fucking my name is just Jacob. I'm in there, dude. You can definitely find me. So yeah, that's really it. Catch y'all fuckers tomorrow.